Welcome to our channel on near-death experiences, NDEs. We'll explore stories of people who've been on the brink between life and death, returning with new perspectives. These accounts offer a unique glimpse into existence, life's meaning, and the universe. Each video is a journey through transformative experiences and spiritual discovery. We're creating a space of understanding and sharing for these extraordinary stories. Whether you're here out of curiosity or seeking comfort, we hope to bring you peace and awareness. Join us on this journey of spiritual exploration. Every moment is an opportunity to grow and love. Thank you for being here with us.
On December 22, 1986, around 4:15 p.m., the author experienced an extraordinary event that led him to believe he was on the brink of death. As he lay down, he was suddenly enveloped by an intense white light, permeated with an incredible power of love. Within this light, he perceived the roar of deafening winds accompanied by the most sublime singing of angelic choirs. His body was completely paralyzed by the force of this light, while love flooded through him. He feared losing control of his physical functions, but every human aspect, such as the desire to maintain control, movement, and thought, seemed to dissolve in the light. When the light completely enveloped him, an explosion of ecstasy and love erupted from his navel, merging with the light itself. The author became one with the light, embodying the innocence, love, ecstasy, peace, power, beauty, and wisdom of the light itself. Like a mother carrying her child, the light transported him upwards at a dizzying speed. The light communicated with him, and the author understood that it was God, the creative force of the entire universe. The light revealed to him that this first heaven of light, whose intensity of love surpassed 1,000,000 times what he had known on Earth, was populated by an infinite number of paradisiacal planets. Observing his own body, the author noticed that it was composed of pure white light, while still maintaining a luminous human form. After spending time in this first heaven, he was transported higher, to a place where the joy and glory of God was so intense as to be almost unbearable. Subsequently, he exploded into a new light, where the glory of innocence, love, ecstasy, peace, power, and wisdom was 1,000,000 times brighter than the first heaven. His new body was more radiant and clear, capable of reaching an exponential growth of glory. It was revealed to him that this second heaven also encompassed an infinite number of planets. As the ascent through the celestial planes continued, the qualities of this glory increased each time by 1,000,000 times. The splendor and beauty of life within these celestial planes were inconceivable to the human spirit separated from this light. The author was brought to a plane of ecstasy and love whose pressure was so intense that he could barely sustain his level of cosmic energy and ecstasy. He exploded again into a light 1,000,000 times brighter than the previous one, entering the third heaven. Here, his body still retained a human appearance, but emitted a white light so intense as to be incredible. His vision had extended, allowing him to see clearly and perfectly for millions of miles. The singing of the angels above him was magnificent, deafening, and glorious. The author perceived that the vibration of the sounds carried within it a wisdom so sophisticated that it could create life and myriad possibilities in the universe. The angelic harmonies did not resonate only for pleasure, but were destined to create. Leaving the third heaven, the author reached the fourth, where the glory of God was so resplendent as to surpass every conceivable concept of glory. His body had become so luminous that it retained very little of human appearance. The glory and its attributes were so radiant that the author confessed to God that he was unable to resist further, recognizing that his immensity transcended all human capacity for understanding. Entire galaxies of energy could be created with this light. Despite the author's request not to proceed further, God still brought him to the next level. At this point, the glory far exceeded his abilities of comprehension. An astonishing quality of light descended from an even more resplendent plane above him. The author hypothesized that at this level there were no planets, but perhaps living beings within the stars themselves. God's grace, his most poetic and wonderful quality, descended like millions of leaves falling harmoniously, giving peace and purity to ecstasy and glory to such a point that the author could not bear it. Subsequently, he was brought to the fifth heaven, where his body now resembled a giant sun, no longer having any human appearance. The glory that reigned in this heaven was indescribable and completely inconceivable to human beings. After spending time in the fifth heaven, the author was transported to the sixth heaven, 1,000,000 times more radiant than the previous one. The splendor of God in this heaven was beyond all description. The angels sang so loudly that no human ear would have been able to listen to this music of the universe. The author's body had become an even brighter sun, fused with the light that is at the center of God. Finally, the author was transported to the seventh heaven. What he experienced there was so far beyond his capabilities that God brought him back to a lower level. He managed to stay in the seventh heaven for only 10 seconds. The light in this plane could create entire galaxies with the utmost simplicity. Beings capable of reaching this level were 1,000,000 times more evolved than the author. The author's experience reveals that the level of light and glory of innocence, love, ecstasy, peace, power, beauty, and wisdom increases by 1,000,000 times from one heaven to another, making it extremely difficult to traverse these levels and remain there. This NDE offered the author an extraordinary glimpse into the celestial realms and the transcendent nature of God, leaving him profoundly transformed and able to share this incredible experience with others.
If you enjoyed this video or you're interested in the topics we cover on this channel, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Share the video with someone you think might appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Preface: near-death experiences, NDEs, can be profound, life-changing events. Remember, NDEs are subjective experiences, not proof of an afterlife or a guide for living. Channel purpose: this channel shares NDE stories and information, providing a platform for open discussion without promoting specific beliefs. Disclaimer: this content doesn't replace professional medical or psychological advice. If struggling with mental health issues, seek professional help immediately. If you've had an NDE and need support, consult a therapist experienced with NDEs. We don't promote suicide or self-harm. If considering suicide, contact a prevention lifeline immediately. Suicide prevention resources: National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Crisis text line, text HOME to 741741. Conclusion: we hope you find this channel informative. For questions, please contact us. Remember, suicide prevention is crucial. If you're struggling, seek help. You're not alone.